Which version?
I'm Christian.
Andrew.
Alexis.
And today we watched a video called Behind Closed Doors, and it talks about how children are affected in domestic households. Do you want to tell your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean that video is like a little troubling. I mean, it sucks that people have to go through that. I mean, I've had friends who've had experiences like that. Thankfully, their parents walked out on whoever was doing that and made a better life for themselves. So I mean, I've seen it firsthand how it can affect people. It really brings their mood down and just in general, it's a crappy situation for people.
Yeah, I thought one of the most sad parts of the film was how they elaborated on the children will feel isolated during these events, and I think that's probably the most detrimental thing. They don't have any form of community form around, and that's very important at a young age. They just feel like they're alone, and it could possibly be their fault. And I think that's just a horrible thoughts for a child to have.
One thing the video brought up was about how children from domestic households tend to be abusive, but some of the people that they had interviewed weren't abusive at all.
Something that really hit me when watching the video was definitely how many people this affects and how it makes them the parents don't realize the concerns that it's gonna have on the kids when they do grow up, such as Hoodie said, they might become abusive themselves when in a domestic household, and that's just super sad because it's a never-ending chain.
Okay, so something I learned from the video was it talked a lot about the flight or fight response. So it's are you gonna choose to fight back, or are you gonna flee from what's going on?
Yeah, well, along with that, we all discussed we thought that was really interesting. Another thing we found interesting was how when each incident continues to happen, it gets more and more impacted into the brain, and then it ends up kind of just without you even realizing you doing it to other people, just kind of like Taylor said, the fight or flight almost, and it just kind of develops into something without people realizing, whether it's a month of coming out or a couple of months, years, so we all found that interesting.
Yeah, going off what Taylor said, one thing that I found interesting was they said that the majority of time children will react with disassociation rather than engagement in their peer group to try and shield themselves from being hurt further emotionally or physically. And like I said earlier, that's just something that's just, I couldn't even imagine those feelings as a child, just feeling like you're alone out there and even your parents aren't, you can't even turn to them.
Does anybody have any prevention?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much you can do for prevention per se, but I think it falls on close family, friends, and teachers to look out for the signs in the children and in the parents, and then to act fastly to get them out of the environment that they're in. But as far as straight prevention, I mean, I don't know how much you could actually do behind.
Yeah, I think that's
like
the
I
best
said,
you can
behind
do.
closed doors in their own house. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
Prevention would definitely be a more loving home, but you can't enforce that.
Yeah. Plus, like Andy said, you don't know what happens behind closed doors because someone can seem perfect on the outside or from but when you actually go in and look, you see a whole different side of what's actually happening with family life there.
Okay.
That's all.
Yep.
Woo!